Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our end of season player reviews. This time it's on Seamus Coleman, who at the time of recording, his contract is up. I haven't heard any news since about Seamus Coleman. There is speculation that he will stay at the club another season, whether that's in a player capacity or in the coaching staff. So obviously it looks like he's going to stay. We don't know in what capacity though he's going to stay. So at the minute, we just don't know. His stats for this season, Seamus Coleman has played a grand total of 6 games for Everton this season in the Premier League, well, in all competitions, 5 in the Premier League, 1 in the League Cup. He has had 215 minutes, started 3 matches, played in 5 in the Premier League. Yeah, tough season for Seamus Coleman. Been injured quite a bit, so this is going to be quite a tough video to do in terms of his stats because again, he's not played much. 0.57 XG with no goals, one big chance missed, 0 assists from his expected assist of 0.03. Accurate passes 77%, 88% accurate in his own half, 66% accurate in his opposition's half. 50% of his accurate long balls and 42% accurate chip passes, no accurate crosses. In terms of defensively, 0.2 interceptions per game, 0.6 tackles per game, 1.4 balls recovered per game, dribble pass 0.2 times per game, and clearances 1.4 per game. No errors leading to a shot or a goal, and 80% dribble success rate with 0.8 successful dribbles per game. In terms of him overall, listen, he's struggled with injury, hasn't he? When he's come in, he's been okay, but he's really struggled with injuries. We obviously wanted to give him that send off against Southampton at Goodison Park. When he goes and gets injured quite, during the game, and that's unfortunately a sad way to end the season, but he's probably fitting of the season because he has struggled with the injuries. Doesn't make it any less sad, just he has struggled over the injuries, which is unfortunate for him. I think it's sad because I think the season before he'd come in and he played a couple of games for us, and he was he was good when he came in last season, I thought. And I know he only played 13 and the season before that 25. But I thought when he came in the last 2 seasons, he's done his professional job and then left. This time, I think injuries are just, I think this is, you know, I think this is just nature telling him it's time to go and hang up your boots. Obviously, we know what Seamus Coleman is like, but as he's got older, he likes to, his strengths are sort of blocking the ball. I think he's good one-on-one with wingers for his age and sort of where he's at. I think he's still very good at tracking back 1v1. In terms of his weaknesses, I think the game's getting a bit too quick. Sometimes he's caught a little bit, and obviously injuries is one of his biggest ones. The fact that he didn't have any accurate crosses this year is just, sort of says where it's sort of at. The old Seamus Coleman, 2009, we'd be looking at crossing and it'd be every 2 minutes. So it is a shame. Obviously, this is just on the field. What he offers us off the field is far more beneficial. Everybody talks about how good of a leader he is and how good of a captain he is. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the High Performance podcast with Jake Humphries spoke about Seamus Coleman, and he spoke about how Seamus Coleman doesn't just say it because he thinks he needs to say it because he's captain. He actually lives and breathes Everton, and that he's just an all-round fantastic captain. He's good at, doing the great things that captains do. He'll tell the lads if he thinks they need to tell him, but if they don't need, he thinks they don't, he'll let them sit on it and won't, tell them. He leads by example. I think Carl Lewin said he's one of the first player. Seamus Coleman is if not one of the first players in the training ground and the last ones to leave. Just a model professional. And obviously he loves the club and he's good for inspiring the players, getting them worked up and stuff like that. We've seen the clips where he's doing the speeches to them. Dominic Calvert-Lewin said he's had a couple of great speeches from Seamus Coleman. So what he offers off the pitch that we don't necessarily see is obviously more valuable because Dominic Calvert-Lewin's not the only player that's come out and said about how much of a leader Seamus Coleman is, and that helps a lot as well. A highlight for this season is a bit tough. Like I said, he's not playing many games. I thought he played all right against City in December. Other than that, though, it'd probably be the League Cup game against Doncaster Rovers. I thought he played okay there. Yeah, that's probably his highlight because there's not much to say. In terms of next season, I think if he carries on as a player, we won't see a lot of him similar to this season. He will be there to just be a captain to the lads. Which I could argue, if he goes into the backroom staff, he could still do the inspiring stuff without being a player. Either way, I think he's valuable to keep on, obviously, because of his attitude, who he is, how much people in the club look up to him. It just comes down to, is that in the playing capacity or is it going to be in the backroom staff capacity? I honestly don't think there'll be much difference because I still think he won't get a lot of playing time as a fullback next year. Um, as long as he's around in some capacity at the club, I think the club will benefit from it. Because, like I said, the most beneficial things he does, it sounds like it's the stuff he's doing in the back, not on the pitch, because obviously physically he's been injured. So, yeah, I think if we did lose him as a player, but we gained him as a backroom staff, that would probably not be that big of a change. I mean, if he can stay fit next season and get a couple of games, fantastic. I think he'd be, it's always better if you can get your leader out on the field, but we have to be sort of realistic with the amount. His game time each season is dwindling, and this year it's really dwindled. So yeah. In terms of a rating, I think I've given the other lads who hardly played a 5, like Virginia. So I'm going to give Seamus Coleman a 5 as well because he's hardly played. That's like the base rating. So yeah, 5 for Seamus Coleman. Obviously, I hope he stays in some capacity. I think he is going to stay in some capacity at 36 years old, though. What a servant for the club he's been, and what a professional and the captain. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your thoughts and your ratings. Look forward to reading them. See you soon.